Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm your host, Kaitlin Hansen.
And I'm Kylee.
Hi, Kylee.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Me too.
Kylie's going to share one of her birth stories with us. We'll probably end up getting all of them.
Probably.
Because mostly I want to hear all of them. But yeah, we're super happy to have Kylee here. So we're just going to walk through things. Kylie's already been on the podcast, so I'm not going to have you give your whole rundown again. But what birth story are you going to share with us today?
I mean, let's just start with
the first.
I mean,
cute, cool boy.
What other way?
Yes. No, that's perfect. Okay. So run us through, did you go into labor? How did that play out?
So I actually had preeclampsia with Cole.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell, what did that mean for you? How did that, manifest itself?
Well, the whole pregnancy, I gained so much weight. And from the beginning, I was, swollen. My feet and legs
Just,
were all
water
swollen.
retention?
Yes.
Okay.
Just big and swollen.
You're awesome.
And so much weight.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a pretty smooth pregnancy, and I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel lightheaded or dizzy.
Okay, good.
But every time I went to the doctor, they're like, your blood pressure doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And every time it got worse and worse.
Did you have to do the non-stress tests?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Towards the end. And I had to collect my urine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For 24 hours or something, because your protein spills over into your urine.
Oh.
And that's how they diagnose it.
Okay.
So I had to do that, which was disgusting. You have to keep it in the fridge.
Oh yeah,
Just
I've had to
this
do that
jug.
with my kidney stones.
Yeah.
It was a 90 or not 90 day. Can you imagine? No, it was a 3-day one. And I'm this is disgusting.
No, it's gross.
Yeah.
It's next to your jug of milk.
You're
your jug of
awesome.
pee. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, so you had preeclampsia. You're getting your non-stress test. You're swollen.
Mm-hmm. I ended up being put on bed rest.
Dang.
At gosh, it was way later. I made it pretty far.
Yeah.
I was probably 37 weeks.
Okay.
Got put on bed rest. Thrilled. I was working full time doing workers' comp claims.
Yeah.
Hated it. I was never happier when I got put
You're
on bed
this
rest.
is a dream come true for me.
It really was bye.
Yeah.
I'm done. And then I just laid in bed all day because he was my first. So I just laid in bed all day.
That sounds incredible.
Watch shows.
Except for if you're uncomfortable.
I mean, I felt fine. I felt fine. So then I go to, it must have been, he was only born 3 days before my due date.
Okay.
So, but I went to that visit. So 39-week visit.
Yeah.
And they take my blood pressure, and the nurse was and stops the doctor walking by.
Yeah.
And she's like, her blood pressure is out of control. They're whispering.
Concerned.
Yeah.
Were you freaking out at that point, or are you just
So my doctor is the most easygoing. He props his legs up on the table and just
cute.
Just
a cozy guy.
Yes.
Okay, I love that.
So and he's like, okay, well, let's take it again.
Yeah.
And just see. So she takes it again and she's like, it's higher. And at that point, he was like, okay, you're going to go home. You're going to pack your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're having a baby. And I was like,
he's like, come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went home, got my stuff.
Were you already packed and had stuff together?
No. I'm not very prepared that way. That's not my personality.
I know that you pack the night before.
Yeah.
And I'm pack 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So no, I had nothing ready. I call my husband bawling.
Yeah.
I was because I had just assumed I was going to go over my due date. I was not progressed at all. I was 0% effaced. I was 0%, all zeros.
Yeah.
And so I just assumed, I'm going to go over my due date. So I was freaked out.
Well, that is I feel like all of a sudden it doesn't feel real until they're like, hey, come back. And then like nerves start kicking in and stuff.
And you're like, oh.
Especially with your first.
Yeah. Like, oh, I actually have to do this now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool.
I like didn't think about birth my whole pregnancy.
No.
And I mean, I'm glad that I didn't and like stress about it, but I was just like, oh crap. Like this is about to happen.
This is real. So I go home. They admitted me that night. And they like started me on some cytotech is what it was.
Oh,
and it was supposed to like
it's supposed to like thin
your cervix.
That's what they gave me after my miscarriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it did nothing but give me like cramps. I actually ended up I'm a baby, and I had in my head the whole time, I was like, I am not going to feel a single labor pain.
Yeah.
So with the cytotech, I got my epidural.
Great.
And so then I was able to sleep at least that night. But the next morning.
Especially if you started, like them starting you at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was crampy enough. It wasn't contractions by any means, but I was crampy enough that I was like, let's get an epidural.
Yeah. Like why feel uncomfortable when you don't have to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just my motto anyway.
Yeah. Same.
So I sleep. The next morning, the cytotech did nothing.
Oh gosh. So you're still like not really dilated, okay.
My doctor comes in that morning and breaks my water, and they start me on Pitocin. And then it was just kind of like regular, but I had already had my epidural, so I was just chilling.
Yeah, great.
The whole
Can't
day,
move my
like,
legs.
Yeah, no, I was just sitting there, just hanging out.
Wait, what did they do when you? Oh, did they give you a catheter at that point?
Yeah, when you get the epidural.
Okay, because I was like, what if you have to like get up? But
no.
Yeah, catheter. That makes sense.
Catheter.
Okay, there we go.
So then we're just hanging out.
Except for if you have to go number 2. What do they do in that situation? Put you in a wheelchair?
I don't know if you'd be able to tell. Would you?
I don't know.
Because you're kind of like numb.
I don't know.
But then most people poop.
Yeah.
Giving birth anyway.
Well, labor, like when you're like about to push, it felt like I was going to poop my pants. That's how I knew I was ready.
Well, and that's how I knew I was ready.
Yeah.
And they like tell you that if it doesn't feel like you're going to poop, you're not doing it right. You're not using the right muscles.
Okay, great. So I was like doing a good job.
Yeah, you were doing right.
Okay, that was a tangent. Sorry about that.
And then I always throw up between like a 6 and 7.
Yeah.
I got so sick, and I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Did they give you anything?
I threw up, and then they probably gave me anti-nausea at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so you're sick, and you're at like a 6 or a 7.
Mm-hmm. But then nothing was like crazy. Then I'm at a 10, and I pushed for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass away. And when I was, you feel like you're going to poop.
Yeah.
And I was so worried about pooping. And
I was too.
But then
they don't even tell you, I hear. They just like hurry and scoop it away.
They're probably so used to it.
Yeah.
But then I got to the point that I was like, I'm so uncomfortable that maybe if I poop, I'll feel better.
Yeah.
So like,
you're like,
great.
whatever, bring it on.
Like, you just get to this point and you're like, whatever.
And I feel like you're like desensitized too after like the 80th person coming in and like checking what's going on down there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't care. Anybody can take a look. Like it could be a stranger and it would be no different for me.
No, it's all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my births, I had like students.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great.
You're like, sure, bring them in. Kate, did you have other people in the room with you, or was it just Thomas? Your husband.
I am a very open.
I had no idea.
More the merrier. So my husband was there, both my parents, my mom and my dad, and my sister.
Yeah.
And honestly, whoever wanted to be there, probably I would have been like, sure, come on in.
Yeah. Party.
Yeah. They were the ones there for that one.
Yeah.
And then, nothing. Just.
He just came on out
after a long time.
Yeah. Did they have to use like forceps or vacuum or whatever?
No.
Okay, good.
He struggled. We struggled to get him out, but we got there. And then he was like 8 pounds, 7 ounces.
Cute.
And he was so swollen.
Just a little cutie pie because he'd been like in there for a hot minute.
His lips were like.
Wait, I remember you showing me.
And when he came out, my whole family was like, oh, his mouth. Because his like mouth just it took up his whole face.
Yeah. It's so cute though.
He grew into it.
No, I love it. Okay, so from there, like tell me about the recovery. Did you tear?
Yes, I did. A pretty good one.
Yeah.
I don't know
what the degrees are.
I think it was a second degree, but I don't exactly know what that means.
I don't know either.
But it was enough that I wasn't very happy.
Yeah. Uncomfy.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Just wore Depends.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Depends silhouettes.
Seriously.
Like love them.
It's so
Sponsor
much easier.
Me. Just kidding.
So much easier.
It is.
Than the pads.
Yeah. And like the stuff that they give you, like the mesh underwear, like that is sliding to and fro.
It is just, it's not.
We need the Depends silhouettes in our life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Do you get postpartum depression?
I didn't.
Okay.
I haven't with any of my kids.
So you're feeling pretty good. Aside from like mentally you're feeling good, physically ouchie wah.
Yeah. I got mastitis a few times.
Ow.
And also this kid of mine has horrible, horrible food allergies. So he struggled to nurse and eat and was throwing up all the time. We were up all night, every night with him.
Yeah.
So and then this may be too much.
No.
But every single one of my births, I'm finally starting to feel like things are getting better and I get a yeast infection.
Ouchie wah.
Every time.
Ow, that should be illegal.
Every time. So you've got just the mess that's going on down there.
Yeah.
And you're all itchy.
Ow.
So it is not.
I hate that for you.
My recoveries are not great.
Yeah, that does not sound great. That actually is like probably one of the worst things that could happen after.
But I guess it kind of maybe I'm weird, but it's like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is.
Maybe it makes sense that I get them. But
no, I guess that does make sense because you're like wearing pads. There's stitches. There's
moist and moist.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
Gross.
Worst word, but no, that sucks.
Yeah. So that wasn't like super great. And I didn't feel good. Like I did not start feeling good until after 6 weeks.
Okay.
Like not even like I was not, I don't know. Maybe I took a long time.
No, I think that.
Or maybe I had unrealistic expectations of how long it takes.
I feel like that's normal. I was like 6 to 8 weeks before I was like
okay, I'll be okay.
Yeah. Before I'm like, okay, I can be a mom.
Yeah. And recovery is something that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough.
No.
Like you go in flying blind.
Oh, like, for sure.
What is this?
And like each birth, each time's going to be so different because the babies are positioned different. You tear differently. Yeah. Okay. No, that's like, so yeah, I'm glad that you touched on that. Was there anything you would do differently from that birth or that you did differently from your first to your second?
No, I'm a pretty like laid back person.
You are.
And I think that I could have been like super upset, I think you can always be upset. Like, oh my gosh, I have preeclampsia. Now everything's ruined. My birth plan's ruined. I didn't even have a birth plan.
No, I was like, the best birth plan is no birth plan.
Yeah, because then, I mean, everything.
Or a loose birth plan.
The only thing I knew was that I wanted an epidural the second I could get it.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Yeah.
With all my
Great.
kids.
Okay.
So, no, I'm like, there's nothing I've really, like, not great to get preeclampsia, but can't control that. So.
Yeah. Not in your realm of controllability. Is that a word?
I think
it's a word for here if it's not. Okay, love that. Next question I have for you, and this one's kind of a tough one, but tell me about the mom you hope to be.
I mean, there's lots of things, but I want my kids to like know, one, that I will like rip your throat out if you like cross my kids, hurt them. Like I will go to bat for you. And I hope that they know that.
Yeah.
The second thing, I really want my kids to remember that I'm always down for a good time.
Yeah. That's your legacy.
Like I just want them to like look back and remember like, yeah, mom was always willing to like go down the water slide with us.
Yeah.
And take us to lagoon and like play.
Yeah, I like that. Like make their childhood magical and like you're a part of that.
Yes.
I like that.
So,
okay, perfect. Well, just to finish things off, do you have any advice for somebody that is about to have a baby, about to give birth?
I kind of touched on this before, but like, just go with the flow.
Yeah.
It's not worth getting upset and worked out about things that you can't control, because in the end, you can't really control a lot of it.
Yeah.
And things will change and not go according to plan.
Yeah.
So it's just go with the flow and,
take it as it comes.
yes.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.